Hey, hi, hello to everyone. Welcome you all to my channel English with Shreya. Today we will be learning the poem The Voice of the Wren, written by Walt Whitman. This poem is prescribed by CBSE for the students of class 11 and the poem has been taken from your book Hornbill. So let's get started. Before we move on to the poem explanation, let's know something about the poet Walt Whitman. He was an American poet born in 1819 and expired in 1892. Walt Whitman was also an essayist and a journalist. He was also popularly known as father of free verse. Now the question arises, what is a free verse? Free verse can be referred to any poetry which doesn't follow any pattern or any rhyme scheme. This poem which we are discussing, Voice of the Wren, is also a free verse because while we will be reading, we will be understanding that no such particular pattern or any rhyme scheme has been followed in the poem. So let's get started with the explanation. So I personally believe that anything can be understood better if it is visualized properly. If the entire concept is presented in front of us like a picture, then things get better in our head. So for this purpose, I have prepared this mind map so that you can understand the whole chapter, the whole poem at a go. The Voice of the Wren, the title itself shows that the poet is talking to the rain. Because whenever it rains, we always hear the sound of the rain. We never hear the voice of the rain because we do not talk to a rain. A rain is not a human being, so that we will be hearing the voice of the rain. But here, anything can be possible for a poet and his imagination. So here poet Walt Whitman, he is talking to rain and has considered rain to be a human being. So here the poet, he is asking the rain, who are you? He is asking the rain that, who are you? And very strangely, the rain also answers back. The rain also answers back and introduces itself. Now what does the rain say? Now the entire introduction which the rain will be giving to the poet has a real similarity to water cycle. Now water cycle is something which we have all read from class 3 or 4 or 5 and we entirely know the concept of water cycle. That from the sea or from the land, the water evaporates and forms into clouds. And then the water condenses and comes back to earth in the form of rain. This simple cycle is very much familiar to each one of us, and that is the answer which has been given by the rain to the poet. Let's see. The rain introduces itself as the poem of the earth. Now why does it call itself to be a poem of the earth? We will be understanding that at the end of the lesson. The rain also states that I am eternal because the rain doesn't end. There is no end line to rain. Rain is forever. Rain is eternal. While the rain is rising above the land and sea, because we know that how the rain rises up as water vapor. So in the form of water vapor, when it is rising up, it is rising from the sea and the land. And the water vapor cannot be touched, cannot be seen with our open eyes. So it is calling itself to be untouched. It is saying that I rise out of the land and sea, and where does it go? Upwards towards the sky. And when it reaches up, it takes the form of several clouds. And the clouds then condenses and again comes back to the earth in the form of rain. So this complete cycle has been introduced by rain while he was answering the poet. Now it is telling that in the form of rain, when I am coming down, I am washing. What it is washing? It is washing the dryness of the earth. It is also washing all the tiny atomic particles lying here and there, all the dust layers of the earth, wherever there is drought, famine, wherever there is need of water, I come and help them, I wash them. And the seeds which are lying latent, means which are lying hidden here and there and waiting for me to give life to them, they are growing, they are germinating. So in this way, rain says that I give back life to my own origin. Own origin means this earth, from where it originated, it is giving life back to the earth only. This way, it purifies the earth, it beautifies the earth. So that was the entire answer given by the rain, that I am the poem of the earth, I am eternal, I cannot be seen, I cannot be touched, I rise out of the land and sea and no one can touch me, I go upwards in the sky and form clouds, then I come back to the earth wherefrom I have originated and wash all the dust layers of the earth, all the seeds germinate due to me and I purify the earth. So after the rain introduces itself, what does the poet do? The poet tries to seek the answer why the rain has called itself as the poem of the earth. The poet then observes and reflects back to the answer given by the rain and then compares the rain with a song. Now there are valid reasons which the poet has put forward that why he is comparing a song with a rain. Because a song originates from the poet. It is created by the poet. Then it wanders throughout the world. The song is appreciated by some, loved by some, and not liked or not appreciated but criticized by someone. But the poet doesn't get affected by that. It is always loving the poetry, and the poetry or the song, it comes back to the poet with all due love. So whether people like or they do not like, but the poetry is always close to the poet and it returns after traveling the world to the creator, that is the poet. In this way, the poetry or the song completes its cycle, just the way the rain also completes its cycle. The rain also originates from the sea or the land, which is the earth, and again when it is rising, forming clouds and coming back to the earth in the form of rain, it is also completing the cycle. So in this way, the poet has tried to compare the rain with the poetry. By now we have got a clear concept of the poem, The Voice of the Rain. Let's go by the lines. The poet in the first line asks, "And who art thou?" means who are you? Said I to the soft falling shower. Soft falling shower means the rain. So he is asking the rain, who are you? Which, strange to tell, gave me an answer as here translated. So the poet was quite shocked that it was so strange that the rain is answering me back, but it has done. So the entire answer which the rain has given, the poet has translated to the readers. So what does the rain say? I am the poem of the earth, said the voice of the rain. Eternal I rise, impalpable. Impalpable means anything which cannot be touched or seen. So the rain is telling that eternal means forever. I rise impalpable. I rise from the land and the bottomless sea, and I cannot be touched. I cannot be seen. That's why I am impalpable. And from where it is rising? It is rising from the land and bottomless sea. Now why the sea is called bottomless? Because generally we cannot see the bottom of the sea. So the poet has called sea to be bottomless. Now where the rain is going? The rain is going upward to heaven. Whence means where. Vaguely form. Vaguely means very softly. It is formed. Formed means it is forming the shapes of the clouds where in the sky. Altogether changed means I was water vapor. Now my form has been changed to clouds. and yet the same, because the constituent remains the same. I am the same water vapor, just my shape has changed. Rain then says that I descend to lave the draughts. I descend means I come down. To lave means to bath or to wash. To wash the draughts. The drought spelling is given here wrong. It will be DROUGHTS, draughts. The atomies, dust layers, the globe. Now, wherever on the earth there is dust, there is famine, wherever they are in dire need of water, I come down to wash them, to give them life. And all that in them without me were seeds only, latent and unborn. So wherever there are seeds, they are lying here and they are hidden, they are not born, they are waiting for me. And forever, by day and night, I give back life to my own origin. So forever, be it a day, be it a night, I come down, I rain and give back life to my own origin. Own origin means earth. Because from earth only in the form of water vapor, it has got its shape of a cloud and then again came back as rain. So by the rain, when it is coming back to earth, it is giving life to all the seeds which were till now latent, hidden, not born. And after the rain, they are germinating. So this way, the rain is saying that I am coming back to the earth and I am giving life to my own origin. And in this way, make pure and beautify it. I am purifying the earth. I am beautifying the earth. So till this now was the answer given by the rain. Now, the last two lines of the poem are given under brackets. Now, why the poet has written in this way, why he had put these brackets? It's because so that he can differentiate these two lines from the entire poem. Because these two lines are neither part of the poet's conversation nor the rain's. It is not said by the poet or it is also not said by the rain. These two lines are just the reflections or the observations which the poet has made after he heard the answer of the rain. So after the rain had introduced itself, the poet was thinking and reflecting back, and he has drawn a conclusion that why rain can be called as the poem of the earth. So these two lines which are given under bracket are called parenthesis. Now parenthesis means two lines or three lines, any phrase or lines which is part of a poem but they are not part of the entire concept or conversation which is there in this poem. It's quite a bit alienated from the poem. So here in this two line, what is the poem saying? For song issuing from its birthplace after fulfillment, wandering, wrecked or unwrecked, duly with love returns. So all of a sudden, the poet is telling that for song, any song, issuing from its birthplace. Birthplace means the creator, the poet, or anyone who is writing the poem or the song. So from the birthplace, it is first issued. The poet creates a song. After the fulfillment, when the entire song is released, wandering, wrecked or unwrecked, it travels throughout the world. Wrecked, unwrecked means someone give attention, someone loves, appreciates, and someone doesn't like, someone criticizes. Duly with love returns, but the poet is always loving the poetry. The poetry is coming back to the poet in the form of lots of love. So in this way, in the last two lines, it is very important for the questions also that why these lines are given under brackets. It's because it is not part of the conversation between the rain and the poet. These two lines are just the analysis or the reflection of the poem done by the poet. How the poet has tried to draw a similarity between the rain and the poem. So thus we come to the end of the explanation of the poem, and now we will be learning what are the poetic devices which has been used in the poem. So let's see. The very first poetic device is personification, which has been used in the poem. Now, what is personification? Personification is the attribution of any human characteristics to a non-human thing. Suppose if I am saying that the tree is shivering in cold. Now, shivering is something which humans do. We shiver in cold. The trees do not. But here, if I say that the tree is shivering in cold, it means that I am trying to refer that it is really very cold outside, that the trees are also shivering in cold. Now, this is where I am personifying the tree. I am giving some human characteristics to the tree to make it more effective. That is personification. Now, here in this poem also, rain. Now, rain is not human, but we are hearing the voice of the rain. The poet is talking to the rain. So, in this way, in the entire poem, the rain has been personified. The rain has been personified to be a human being who is talking and who is replying to the poet. That is personification. Then, first line, and who art thou, said I to the soft falling shower. Now, in here, the poet has never mentioned that said I to the rain. He had not taken the word rain, but as he says soft falling shower, we can understand that it is rain only, because we are getting a clear image of the soft falling shower in front of us. That is imagery, creating an image in front of us. So, soft falling shower would be imagery. So, in the third line, the rain replies that I am the poem of the earth, said the voice of the rain. Now, why it is saying that it is the poem of the earth cannot be understood directly by this line. So, here metaphor has been used where the rain is comparing itself to the poem but indirectly. That is metaphor, because at the end of the poem we had to understand the poem and we had to look from the perspective of the poet too to understand that why poem and rain is similar. So here when it is saying that I am the poem of the earth, it is comparing itself to the poem but not directly. Indirectly the comparison has been made, and we know that metaphor is not a direct comparison but indirect comparison. So here metaphor has been used. So basically three figure of speech has been used in this poem. Number one, personification, rain has been personified. Number two, imagery in the first line where the poet is saying that I am talking to the soft falling shower, that is rain. And thirdly, metaphor when the rain is saying that I am the poem of the earth. So that's it. I hope you all have understood the poem. If there are any doubts, you can comment down below in the comment box. If you like my video, you can like and share among your friends and subscribe.